All right, we made it to session 3, the new school of sales. Okay, for this session, you might want to open a new window, actually make that 2 windows so you can take notes and follow along on LinkedIn because we're going to cover the following 4 areas. And let me tell you, this is a beast. I even had to get my machine out for it. First thing we're going to cover is search strategy. This is how you will find prospective clients. It's also how you can locate content you want to engage with. Content, remember the concept sales is the new marketing? Yeah, we're going all in on this. The next thing we're going to hit is the cadence. I've created 2 proven ways that you can approach engaging with prospective clients actively and passively, and we're going all in on them. And finally, we're going to dive into tech. I'll show you some of the tools that I use that have worked for me and how you can use them as well. All right, you ready? Let's go fishing. We're going to start small and we're going to work our way up here as we progress along. Type in any word and you now have the ability to search for it across the following categories: people, companies, posts, jobs, groups, schools, events, courses, services, and you can narrow it down with filters. This is not only great for finding the right people and content to engage with, but it's also pretty smart to utilize this type of search when considering content to create and share. Are you looking for popular hashtags to follow? Are you looking for what other people are saying about a topic? Are you looking to connect with like-minded people? Search them up. There are so many ways to utilize search. It's really remarkable and very, very underutilized, but this is just the beginning. And hold on a second. Wait a minute. I almost forgot to tell you this. You don't have to limit your search to just LinkedIn. Remember, people are very social, and the only way you're going to come across as creepy, like I said several sessions ago, is by liking their old photos on Facebook. This is very weird. Don't do it. Utilizing social and knowing who you're talking to is flattering. I, for one, have countless examples of CIOs that I've connected with because I followed them on Twitter, or better yet, found they have a personal website published to one of their accounts. You'd be amazed at the amount of social cues someone can give off. These are incredible ways to start a very meaningful conversation. Let's talk about something called advocate search. This alone is worth the money you paid for this course. Now, if you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's probably one of the reasons why you have it. However, you can still do this with regular LinkedIn. The idea here is that you're looking for new leads or connections and opportunities who've had an experience in the past with your company, however, are now working for a new company. And to show you how this works, I'm going to dive in. Whether you're in Sales Navigator or LinkedIn, you are looking for people by entering all of your customers into the past, not present category. You can then sort by job title, considering all the titles you normally work with on a project, or who make the decision. Typically the decision would be yes rather than no. Then you'll want to narrow that search down even more by people who have posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. These contacts are more likely to respond to you, obviously, because you know they've been active on LinkedIn recently. These leads are officially warm. Therefore, your outreach to them won't be too cold. This isn't new. This is actually kind of old. I'm surprised you've never been told. I don't mean to be bold. I just want to give you this gold. That was my best Dr. Seuss. I hope you liked it. Or Happy Gilmore, whatever you prefer. The idea is simple. Who have we worked with in the past? Who has benefited from our services? Another option, and arguably a more effective approach to identifying potential customers, is to work backwards and find those accounts who are likely to be more familiar with your company. You know what time it is? It's Dame time. Just kidding. It's content time, and I love content time. I think it's the time that you officially started considering content creation as a selling behavior because, well, technically it is, guys. As we dive into how to create content, we need to understand the concept or types of content shared from a marketer's perspective, using content the way a marketer shares content to qualify and nurture leads. Social media is social. If you can embrace that concept, please do your best to follow along. Digital marketing teams create and publish content through many platforms to convert visitors to leads. Once that visitor becomes a lead, a digital marketer will engage with the prospect in 3 different ways to allow the prospect to move along a funnel from a marketing qualified lead to a sales qualified lead. You with me still? This content is categorized in 3 areas. TOFU, or top of the funnel. This is the awareness stage. This is where people are looking to engage, or it's easier for them to engage with whatever it is that a marketer is going to share. As we dive into middle of the funnel, this is the evaluation stage. This is where I might consider actually doing something. Probably because I engaged with the TOFU content. And then as we get down to what's called the bottom of the funnel, this is the purchase stage where people are figuring out exactly what it would take to become your customer. All right, now that you understand, or at least have seen, how marketers nurture prospects, we could take that same approach socially as salespeople. Think engagement to convert someone from a conversation to a meeting. You with me? Let's dive into the social pipeline. Marketing puts content in front of ideal people by creating awareness, consideration, and decision, and calls it a funnel. I would also like to take this moment to congratulate all of you because you are undoubtedly a part of somebody's workflow. Sales needs to take that same approach. Just do something completely different. Think of sharing content as a salesperson the same way a marketer shares content. Your awareness just looks a little different. It's a selfie in front of a customer's office, or it's a personal story that other people can relate to. Your middle of the funnel, your consideration or evaluation stage, looks a little bit different as well. You can write an article and share that article telling your audience just how much value you took from it and tagging the author. For bottom of the funnel, your decision phase looks a little bit different as well. If you really want to book a meeting with someone, consider sharing any of their content. It doesn't even need to be an article. And tell your connections how valuable you thought it was, and ask them to tell you what they got out of it after they're done reading it. Here's what's going to happen. Not everyone will see it, but the person who wrote it most definitely will. And based on experience, they will send you a note of gratitude before you can even think of reaching out to them for a meeting. Bet my life on it. Here's how it flows. If someone engages with your awareness content, they will be more likely to follow along and support your middle of the funnel content, and even more likely to sign up for an offer you put out on the bottom of the funnel. It's exactly the same process your marketing team would take with a workflow, only this time it's coming from you, not the company. True story. Sidebar. I shot a promo video for a keynote speech I gave at a marketing summit using the entire scene from Dumb and Dumber about the social pipeline. You remember where Lloyd says, I want to go somewhere where we know someone who can plug us into the social pipeline. That's what I'm talking about. If you don't recognize what I just quoted, hey, we're probably not going to be friends. We tried though, didn't we? All right, let's continue with the social pipeline. Forget the fact that you've never seen Dumb and Dumber. I'm over it. Actually, go watch it this weekend. Cast a wide net with a selfie, guys. It's okay if you want someone to hold the camera, too. You don't need to always take it. Hey, can you take a photo of me real quick? People do it on vacation. Just have them do it in front of the building you're standing in front of. Tell the world who you met with today and what you learned. Be vulnerable. Show some personality. Establish your brand by sharing an article that you wrote or something completely random. Show some gratitude to one of your connections. Be genuine and thoughtful and share their content. And make sure you tag them in it every single time. I guarantee you're going to start to surprise yourself. Question: do you not know how to post something? Simple yes or no will work. Because posting is simple. It needs to happen as much as possible, even daily. But there is a wrong way to do it. Because anytime you post something, not everyone is going to click on the post. They're not going to read the article or click to watch the video, but they are going to read every single thing you wrote about it. You got it right. Correct. What you say about what you post is. That is called your personal brand for the 19,000th time. Many people confuse this with their actual profile, but your brand is defined by your views and opinions through the content that you share because it demonstrates who you are. Sorry about the hands. I felt it. It was the moment. All right, I'm going to go now. Guys, let's talk about synchronicity. And first of all, I have no idea if I said that right because Jordan Peterson taught that to me and he is way smarter than I am. This is an art form. As a marketer, remember, sales is now the marketing team. Your mission is to tell stories. And as a very talented marketer, if you want to capture someone's attention, try relating two things that normally would never be considered in the same category together and watch what happens. One of my favorite things to do is to use pop culture or movie references and relate them to the pain someone has associated with the solutions that I offer. People will always relate to the pop culture reference first and then stick around for the rest of what you have to say. It is a beautiful thing. Now let's dive into company content. Here's some controversy for you. Don't just hit share on your company's content. Take the message your company is sharing and repurpose the content into your very own message and tag your company in it. This will give you more credit as a thought leader, likely give you more engagement, and most definitely provide your company with better brand awareness, but also nobody sees shared content except the author of the content. I'm not an expert on the algorithm, and neither is anyone who says they are. I mean, dude, nobody knows the algo. I say that like we're buddies. If they did, the platforms that sell ads wouldn't be able to sell ads because we would have everything already figured out. I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? If you want to help your company's message, leave a thoughtful comment on it, and you're done. Great news. There are no rules. Actually, I have one guideline for you, and that is if your grandma were to read what you wrote or what you posted, would she be proud of you or would she be ashamed? Can you imagine how bad you'd feel if you ashamed your grandmother? Think of it this way. I'm a Vikings fan. I know I'm cursed. You won't ever see me promote a Packer or the Bears for that matter, and you certainly won't need a parental advisor sticker on my content either. The point is, we are all the director of first impressions with social media, with the notion that what you say in your post is how you convey your brand. Everything that you write gets noticed. Become a thought leader. It's easy to be a subject matter expert, and it's another thing entirely to be a thought leader. Having an opinion about something, regardless of what it is what draws people in. It's what people relate to. Having an opinion is a form of vulnerability. It's at the very core of your personal brand, and it's always at the beginning of any relationship. I hope by now you are beginning to form ideas, right, around how you can start creating content and becoming the thought leader that only your friends and family know you are. In the words of my 12-year-old son, let's go, baby! By the way, this is a great segue into what we're about to discuss. The cadence of prospecting. If what I just told you was level 400, guys, you're about to get your PhD. We need to develop a cadence. Social selling should probably just be called selling now. I mean, like any selling scenario, you likely wouldn't just walk right up to someone and start pitching them your products and services, yet online, we forget that very key factor every single day. Here's what we know. We know that we use social search tools and creating content to engage with our prospective clients. Now what do we do? If you make a connection with someone that you want to talk to, do you immediately send them a pitch? Let me ask you this. Do you develop a meaningful relationship with your clients? Do you care about their success? Do you care about what's important to them? Here's the underlying rule in this. You have to be genuine. I know I said there are no rules, but I'm pretty strict on this one. You got to mean what you say. Okay, great. Now that you know that, and now that that's out of the way, here's what you do now. We need to put people into a funnel so we can start prospecting them. Genuinely, of course. I like to think of it as an active cadence and a passive cadence. Actively, you search out people and connect with them. Passively, you post content that attracts them. Your goal is to get them in a funnel as a connection on LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever. And then you move forward. It's important as you think about your cadence or sequence of steps for establishing a relationship is how you approach the initial engagement. This is how content creation and social media can be such an impactful selling behavior. First, let's start with what Disruptor calls the active cadence. This cadence is focused on the pursuit of someone very specific. Take advocate search, which I explained earlier as the jumping off point for this cadence. From the results of our initial search for a prospective client, we can identify those in which we want to foster a meaningful connection with. With LinkedIn Sales Navigator, we can save accounts and leads, and we can create lists, making our prospects way easier to engage with. However, it's not always necessary. You can easily achieve this in standard LinkedIn. From this point, we develop a process for connecting with them. A genuine process, there's that word again. And here's an example of an active cadence. You're going to start with search. You're going to identify somebody very specific. You're then going to socially surround this prospect by following them on Twitter, LinkedIn, even Instagram, if their profile is public. You can even follow their company if you want to. Start engaging with their content. If they don't have any content, which is common, that's okay. Their company probably does. Start engaging with that. Start viewing their profile. We want them to see that you viewed their profile. And once they view your profile in return, you're in. Send them a personalized connection request at this point because they have just called up your social voicemail. Let's put a pin in this cadence for a second and transition to the passive cadence. And don't worry, we're going to meet here in the middle in just a minute. Let's transition to the passive cadence. This approach is focused on the results you earn, keep in mind, earn from engaging content. So think of it this way. When you comment on or post/create content, you're likely going to get visitors to your profile. And when this happens, you can connect with them the same way you did in the active cadence. And once you connect with them, you can foster that relationship. Here's what it looks like. Share content as much as possible. Literally become a content creation machine. Then comment, like, and share other people's content. Then check that social voicemail. Remember, people have viewed your profile. And then send them a personalized connection request. And once you have reached the point where you're getting consistent profile views, otherwise known as, again, your social voicemail, important that you understand what that is, You have earned the right to ask for a connection. The more connections you have, the more engagement you'll have in your content. The more engagement you have in your content, the more messages you can send. And the more messages you can send, the more conversations you can have. And the more conversations you can have, the more opportunity you will discover. And the more opportunity you discover, the more deals you can close. And the more deals you can close, the more you can take your family to Disney World. I'm just kidding. The more you can reinvest in yourself, the more you can prove to yourself that this actually works. And that is the passive cadence. Now let's bring them together. Truer words have never been spoken. This is where you can demonstrate your disruption. Once someone connects, don't pitch them, and don't pitch them ever. Send them a thank you message, maybe a thank you voice message. And you're going to use the mobile app for this, FYI. Then send them a compliment, then another compliment. You know what? Throw in another compliment. Then ask them a question about what they do or what they're into. Then pitch them. Just kidding. You can't pitch them. The idea here is to keep the conversation open-ended. Keep it interesting. And most importantly, don't be fake. Eventually you will know, because let me tell you, you are a very self-aware person. When the time is right to ask them if something you've said is worth a conversation, to be honest, as if I haven't been honest, almost every time this occurs, it's right after they finally decided to ask you a question. And this is what happens. You need to play the long game. You know when you're golfing a par 5 and you grab your driver thinking you're going to get it to the green in 2 shots? Yeah, only that never happens because you always shank your driver into the woods. Yeah, that's basically every salesperson on LinkedIn in 2022, and it has been for several years. Play the long game. Take your 7-iron out like a man and hit the ball down the fairway 4 times, put it on the green, and make par, and go try to hit the birdie on the par 3 in the next hole. Because that's more realistic. Play the long game, and here's the point. Your product knowledge and your product offering will increase in value the longer you hold on to it. It's the difference between being sold something and choosing to buy something else. You just have to play hard to get, baby. Is that inappropriate? We're going to move on. Let's talk about starting the conversation versus joining the conversation. And this is a huge component for a successful sales process, especially if you consider someone that is hell-bent on creating content. Ask yourself, are you a giver or are you a taker? Social, and even sales to an extent, is centered around giving. We live in a dopamine society where people feed off the engagement they get in their content. If you are willing to give your time to consume something a connection shared or created, they're going to appreciate it. What does this mean? It means when someone shares content, join the conversation and engage with it. It's actually probably more beneficial for you to engage with others' content than it is to create your own. Starting the conversation equals creating your own content. Joining the conversation equals commenting and engaging with others. As you start down this path of personal branding and the new school of sales, start thinking about 2 things. 1, how can you demonstrate your brand through engagement with other people's content? And 2, how often should you start versus join the conversation? I'm telling you to find a good ratio that works for you and don't compromise. Inside of the PDF that you were sent, you will see what's called a LinkedIn workout. Start there and either increase or decrease based on your results. As we wrap up this very long and detailed session, I hope you've taken notes and you're getting ready to write your thesis. Just kidding. Let's start thinking of how tech can help you be more efficient in your approach and, more importantly, help you stand out, aka be a disruptor. That's why you're here, remember? Okay, first, let's start with Canva. You don't have to be a graphic designer anymore, although it really helps to know one and to have one on your team. You can now use Canva, if you don't, to help you with social media content, from articles that you've written to short videos that you filmed to putting something as simple as a call to action on an image or topic of discussion that you're talking about. I'll get into some examples of how to use Canva, but if you don't know that much about it, I would strongly encourage you to get involved quickly, because there's a free version of it, meaning you don't have to spend any money, and it's likely all that you'll need to get started. And there's also a premium version that will open up new opportunities for you when you're ready. If your cadence can afford it, meaning you're sharing a significant amount of OG content, do yourself a favor and get Canva now. I'm proud to say that last week I created my 500th Canva design and got a certificate from Canva saying thank you. Did not see that coming. Next, let's talk about Vidyard. If you thought I was passionate about Canva, wait to hear me talk about Vidyard, because email is dead. Pretty much like cold calling in one fell swoop. I just made your sales trainer roll his eyes. Need to confirm next steps from a meeting you just had? Create a Vidyard. Need to send an introduction message to a prospective client? Create a Vidyard. They take less than 5 minutes to create and send, and they are 10 times more effective. How would I know this? Well, first of all, the tool has a free version, and second of all, you receive a notification after someone watches the video. Ring, ring. Hey, this is Derek. What'd you think of the video you just watched? I saw you watch 95% of it. Don't believe me? Watch how easy this is as I create a Vidyard for you right now. Hey guys, it's Derek from Disruptor, and this is my Be a Disruptor session on cool tech that you can use to make your sales process way more futuristic and efficient. And this Vidyard is something that I want to show to you. So I'm recording. Hi. Now I'm going to hit stop because it's even more embarrassing to shoot a video while you're on video. So I got to go. As we close this session out, there are so many things to think about and take into consideration. For that reason, you've already received a few documents to serve as guides and help you create your own versions of what we've discussed that should help you change your mindset on what it means to social sell. And as always, just email me or send me a Vidyard now that you know how to do that. And I will always help.